Hello, lovelies. So I am back with another episode of the I Have Thoughts podcast, and I'm here recording from London. I'm in London town, visiting family, and I tell you what, it's good to be back. There's a bit of Britishness, and I'm really enjoying my time here. Some things have really, really changed. I'm walking down the high street and why am I seeing Taco Bell, Wingstop, Popeyes and Shake Shack all up my British high street? Are you serious? But there's no banks, no post office, nothing sensible. That's a bit of a shame. That is a bit of a shame, actually. But there you go. So welcome to another episode of the I Have Thoughts podcast. And you know what we do here, trying to build businesses with resilient owners, but building businesses where you're not left behind. So this episode, I wanted to talk about how you could build your business intentionally and build a content strategy which actually lends to building that community that you want. All right. So I have a few tips I've written down here, which I'm just going to check myself as well while I record this for you. And I also, if you haven't seen my Instagram, if you don't follow me on Instagram, or if you're not subscribed to my free newsletter on my website, please do. I released the news that Instagram have stated that they have reached 3 billion users. That's basically a third of the globe's population. So those platforms that are in the top 5 still, the top 3 go to the metaverse. You've got Facebook, Instagram, then WhatsApp. Then you have YouTube, and in 5th place comes TikTok, actually, which is really interesting. That is still number 5. However, how can you leverage this for your business? Okay, so it's about building your community. With 3 billion users, your community is out there, your clientele is out there. And I say community because in order to sell, you have to build a relationship first, then the selling will come, and I'm reading a book at the moment. I think I've discussed it. Marcus Collins, amazing book. And he was a social media strategist for Beyonce. Homeboy knows what he's talking about, all right? Man knows what he's chatting about. But he really focuses and uses the analogy of a congregation, as it were. And we know the beehive, if they're anything, they are a congregation, okay? But I'm really enjoying learning about that focus on building a community, a congregation, and how those are set up. You have similar worldviews. So the way you look at the world, the way you walk through the world is very similar. Your values that you hold are similar. And that's why you have a congregation. You have a purpose. You know what you're doing in life. So the 5 steps, the 5 tips that I have for you is, number 1, know your people. So really get to know who they are, where they're hanging out, what's their pain points, how do they feel? Do you both speak the same language? Do you look at the same things? Where can you find them? And are you following the same people? But interact with them authentically. Don't just say love, yes, yeah, no. Have engaging conversations, all right? This might mean 15 minutes worth of research on these platforms each day, and time it. Don't sit around, but, just doom scrolling, time it. I use a Pomodoro timer when I'm doing this because constantly for my brand, for my businesses, I don't want to be online all the time. That's not part of my strategy. So timing means that you're locked in, you're focused, and you're going for it. So know your people, their needs, their wants, their desires, where they hang out, what's their pain points, what's their age, what's the demographics, okay? I've spoken about this before. Number 2, create content with intention. So why are you creating it? What exactly are you trying to showcase here? I'm sure you've heard of them. Many other marketers talk about content to educate, to entertain, blah, blah, blah. I always love to produce content with a bit of value, right? I do agree with educating or just letting them know, hey, this is what this is what I do, informing. All right. Creating content to engage, to connect with your audience. So talk about something that they're talking about, but within the realm of what you do. So if you're a boutique law firm, talking about latest social issues or community issues that people who you assist may face. If you are a massage spa, maybe talking about the benefits in the community to having regular spas or spa visits or massage or facials. What's the health benefits? What's the benefit to your community? So yeah, creating content with intention is more likely to lead to conversion. Okay, being consistent, not constant. Sometimes we're constantly online, we're posting, and then you trip up, you start posting things about things that are irrelevant. But being consistent, so always showing up on the same day at that active time when your followers, when your community are actually active on the social media platform, that's really important. More important than posting every day nonsensically. Yeah, so being consistent, using stories and conversation. So stories are a way for you to connect to people. We all have stories. Things happen to us, right? And for example, one of my stories coming here to London, okay, at JFK, I've got global entry. You pay for that service, but when I'm going through security, I'm frustrated because it's not showing up on my boarding pass. Thank you very much, Delta. So I'm having to run backwards and forwards. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have time. I want to go to the lounge. I want to chill. All of that. So finally I get through after the frustration as a global traveller, so I don't have to take my shoes off and all that nonsense. And then I get to the lounge I want to go to, but there's a 30-minute wait. At this point, like, I'm ready to cry. But then I find the other lounge, and in that lounge, it's not as plush as the lounge I wanted to go to, but within that lounge, they're pleasant. I have food, free drink, free wine. And you know what? Because I was there, I was still able just to maintain my manners. I was able to just have a conversation with those who were serving me. Just, saying the basics, please, thank you so much. That person, for some reason, gave me 2 extra cans of Chardonnay. Cans. It's okay, but it tastes good though. But 2 extra cans of Chardonnay to take with me on the plane because I had to shoot off. So then I'm making my way to the plane and I'm traveling by myself. I'm missing my husband. I've had all that stress, but now I'm kind of de-stressed. Said a prayer, got myself in a positive mindset, got on the plane. There's babies surrounding me. And, I love babies and I really feel for parents. But I was like, no, please, this is a night flight. But I maintain my positivity, right? Got to have empathy. They're wondering what people might be thinking. They might be, hesitant and anxious about how baby's going to be. It's fine. I'm not going to make it worse. End up having a lovely lady. She's from Glasgow, living in New York City as well. Sitting next to me. We have a bit of a chat. She helps me out with the charger. And then the babies were so quiet. They're so lovely. And then I get extra drinks from the air hostesses. And just those little things of kindness really helped to just make up for all the stress and anxiety I had trying to get on this flight. And it had made me grateful for what I actually have, all this free stuff. and luxury compared to what many people are going through in the world today. And so I could be grateful for the kindness shown to me by strangers. That's a story. Use that as a conversation. So, for example, now I have released a 30-day gratitude journal. My story leads to why I'm working on gratitude and why I have released a 30-day gratitude journal. Because every time I sit back and I think of what I'm grateful for that day, it helps me to get to a place of appreciation, contentment, autonomy, and just empathy as well. And so I can walk through life in a much better frame of mind and more successfully having a spirit of gratitude. So using that story in order to tell you lot about my 30-day gratitude journal, which is the link is in the description, by the way. That's how you can create engagement, increase your engagement, authentic engagement with your community on Instagram. Okay. And number 5, track what works. This is the bit of a boring bit that a lot of people don't like, but it's very important for you to know what pieces of content are actually doing well, what's converting. So looking at your professional dashboard on Instagram will help you to see, okay, who's engaging with what's the viewership like on this type of content, whether it be a reel, a story, or a static post. What is the content? And are your audience connecting to that more? Are they more likely to answer your polls on this type of content and whatnot? So spending time to track what works for you is a great way as well to build your community on Instagram. So those 5 tips again: know your people, create content with intention, be consistent, not constant, use stories and your conversation, and track what works. And just something I found out recently, because they released it quietly, Instagram does not allow you to go live if you have less than 1,000 subscribers. So maybe one of your first goals will be get to that threshold so that you can use something as going live to connect with your audience. All right, darlings, I will leave you now and stop chewing off your ear. This is Alicia Young Collins at the studio at AYC. And until next time, remember, lovelies, I rise in resilience. I stand in commitment. I create with intention. I live in spirit, and my work and my life move together with grace and purpose.